Welcome to another Finally Friday video. We're going to start out with cutting, scoring, and folding your card base, and then you can set it aside. I've cut a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of vanilla cardstock. This is going to have our main sentiment on it. And what I'm first going to do is I want to draw a very thin pinstripe border. So I'm measuring off a 1/2 inch from each edge, and then going over it with a pencil just to draw on a line. And once all of those lines are drawn, I'm going over it with a marker just to make it darker. And then once that's done, I just erased it. Now I'm using some not cardstock, but chipboard thickers from American Crafts. And just placing these on is going to spell out the words thank you. And you might notice with if you've had a lot of these, in particular the chipboard thickers, that if you live in a drier climate, sometimes they don't want to stick to your card or to your scrapbook page as well as they might have if you had just bought them. So I like to have a little bit of glue just on hand, just in case the adhesive decides to not really stick. So just a heads up there. These are some buttons from Sassafras Lass, and I'm just going to put them on. They're adhesive backed, and they have a little bit of a foam to them, so they're raised from the surface of the card or wherever you put them. And I just love this color combination. So it's kind of the inspiration for this card, as well as some paper from the same company that uses those same colors as well. This is the paper, and Sassafras Lass has a lot of papers that have this special edge to them. And I want to use that edge, but not where they have it on the page. So I've cut it off, and then I cut off a strip of the pattern that I want to use. And I'm going to be putting that at the bottom of the card. So I'm rounding the edges of the pattern paper and also the card base. And then I'll use some tape runner or an adhesive to glue it to the card base. Sometimes when you have pattern paper or any other cardstock that you're adhering to a card base, it'll overlap the edge just a little bit. Most of the time I plan ahead for that, but since this one I had punched the corner, I didn't anticipate that it would hang over the edge. But that's okay, just trim it down, clean up the edges so everything looks nice. And now it's time to adhere the scallop edge that I cut off, that 12 by 12 sheet of paper. I'm going to adhere that to the bottom of the vanilla cardstock that I put the sentiment on. So I'm just putting adhesive along the top of the, along the edge where I cut, and then I can place that square piece of cardstock right over top. And this is when it's great to have it not cut already, because you can kind of center it on the scallop so that you don't get a weird tangent or some weird edge after you put it down. So I'm just going to trim those edges, and then it should be ready to put the rest of the card together. This is a really simple card that you could duplicate over and over again. So especially since you have more than one letter in all of the thickers. Well, here's an example of putting more glue. I'm sorry, it's off the screen, but putting more glue on the back of that thicker, the chipboard thicker, so that it doesn't come off. I think it was the Y that came off on this part. So anyway, the last step is to just put it all together. I've used some foam mount adhesive, and then just place it on the front of the card, lining it up at the folded edge. And that's the card. It's super, super simple, and I hope you all enjoy it, and I will catch you next week.